The Zacks rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks rank buys.
Firearms and semiconductors, those are two of the industries that we've uncovered some stocks that you may want to know about as far as being aggressive growth candidates. And our aggressive growth strategist, Brian Boland's going to tell us more about them. So the first one we'll take in the firearms division, Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson. We know they make the guns, and obviously guns are a hot topic of late.
Yep.
But why it's on my screen is a Zacks rank number one. That's a strong buy stock. So if we know that when it is a Zacks rank number one, that there's going to be positive earnings estimate revisions.
Mm-hmm.
But we also get the growth style score of A and a value score of B. Normally, I like to see the growth score high and the value score low, but in this instance, I'm okay with it. Now, they're just coming off of a very strong beat of 12 cents, and that turns out to be a 22% positive earnings surprise. So that 12 cents was 22% ahead of the Zacks consensus estimate, and as a result, the stock market really liked that report, and the stock moved up about 10% in the session following that earnings release. The thing going on here with Smith & Wesson is that there's a lot of catalysts out there for them.
Yeah.
You've got a recent FBI background check, the NCIS, so they do this monthly to tell you how many people are looking at potentially buying a firearm.
Right.
So not only are people buying one firearm, they're buying multiple, and it's generally the same people stocking up, expecting at some point that there's going to be some sort of ban out there. Obviously we've had the Democratic National Convention just go by, but we have the election coming up.
Right.
Guns and the debates, in front of that, gun control is going to be an issue because of the violence. Trump has spoken about crime and that sort of thing. Guns are going to take center stage at this sort of, at these events. So we have a lot of these external catalysts that are out there for the stock. If we take a look at the chart here, we can see, quite a move here over the last month and a half from about 22 bucks all the way up to 30. We have been hitting 52-week highs very recently. I would expect that trend to continue.
Yeah, at least through November, I would think, right?
At least through November, at least through that time period. With the election, there's going to be, the debates, the election, all these issues are going to be hot. Guns are going to be a hot topic.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to something a little bit more benign, the semiconductor industry, ST Microelectronics.
Right, STM is the ticker there, and it's, the chip space has been just absolutely red hot. And normally I say chips are for dips. I'm the dip of late because I haven't been, on this as long as I would like to have been, but it's still a hot sector. We've seen a lot of these companies produce great results. STM is a Zacks rank 2, and normally we do ones here for this aggressive growth, but this one snuck in here because I think there's a lot going on here. Has a growth score of C, which you wouldn't expect from me at all, but a value score of A. So that makes it, that much better. The earnings history hasn't been that great, and it just recently met expectations on July 27th. But again, the semiconductor space, red hot, and one of the ideas why I like all these stocks is because we expect virtual reality headsets to be a big thing come Christmas time. So, there's been a lot of these chip stocks that are beating on the top line. And when I see those sorts of beats, where there's more revenue than expected and the book to bill is much better than expected, it tells me that there's something big coming down the road. And what I think it's going to be, it's that virtual reality. It's very easy for me to say, Terry.
Right.
I think that those things are going to be the drivers, come Christmas time. These types of stocks, these chip stocks, look to benefit. STM with a forward multiple of around 35. That's pretty rich right here, but I still like it over the near term to advance, a few points anyway.
I think it's more fun to exist in some type of alternate reality.
Well, hey, that could be a lot better than this reality, right?
Well, you never know.
Or it could be worse. I don't know.
Never know. Do you own either of these ones, though?
I do not personally own them.
Okay, and not in your services?
No, I do own both of them in my services.
Oh.
I own STM in stocks under 10 because it is a stock that was under 10 at the time. It was a Zacks rank. It's a 2, so it's still a buy. So I still like it. It's a recent addition to the portfolio. Smith & Wesson I own in Game Changers portfolio.
Oh.
You know, obviously the idea, the tailwinds in there, is why I think the game is going to change for Smith & Wesson. Obviously also at new highs. So I own both of those for those services.
Well, I'm glad I asked.
I am too.
Check out more stock information on our website, zacks.com. Stock picks, stock picking strategies, commentary, and more. Link to it all right off the homepage with Brian. I'm Terry Ruffalo.